You're listening to Snippets from the Summit with your host, Scott McKay.
All right, gentlemen, this is your main man, Scott McKay, coming at you again with another Snippet from the Summit as part of the Mountaintop podcast from X&Y Communications. You know, guys, I hear it all the time from plenty of you. Why do I have to make small talk with women? Small talk is worthless. It's silly. It's dumb. It doesn't lead anywhere. It's certainly not sexy. Well, today I'm going to make the case that not only is small talk, even with women, not only not worthless, it's absolutely essential, and you've got to get it right. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and throw out the reason why on the table right now. Because the whole world operates based on small talk as the prerequisite design for beginning stage conversations. Think of it this way. If you don't start with small talk, what's this big talk you're going to jump right into? Is it nice shoes, let's screw, or something like that? Because I'll tell you what, that is not only not going to work on principle, it's not going to work because it's socially non-standard. The social standard is small talk. And what happens when we present as socially non-standard? How do women respond to that? You know it. They see you as creepy. The very definition of being creepy is being socially non-standard. Now, in my program, The Man's Approach, I talk at length about presenting as normal. A lot of time was spent during the pickup artist era trying to teach us how to peacock and stand out and be different. Some of you guys from way back in the day might remember the fuzzy hats and black fingernails and LED belt buckles. You remember that? That was crazy. Well, I'll tell you what. Kind of following on what the greatest pickup line of all is, right? Which is just introducing yourself, saying, hi, my name is, state your name here, and I saw you across the room and I wanted to meet you. The small talk is absolutely integral to communicating to a woman from the jump, from the get-go, that you are a real, decent human being. And as I've talked to you about time and again in the past, you let your natural masculinity carry that part of the big four without you having to assert it verbally or act it out. And then the next thing you know, she has a man in her presence. She recognizes that. She perks up. Her femininity is ignited. And you just have a normal conversation with her. We've talked about being observant. You want to talk about what's in front of you. You can talk about the weather. You can talk about how many times a week she goes grocery shopping, if that's in fact where you happen to be talking to her. But you know what, guys? Any normal conversation, any insignificant topic you bring up, as long as it's something standard people might talk about, like the weather or anything like that, it's not only going to come off as normal, it's the right thing to do, because here it is, gentlemen. When you're in front of a woman in a social situation, you've approached her and you've never met her before, it is still just a social conversation. It may lead to wild, riotous sex. She may even be your one and only, but it all starts with something familiar. Because think of it this way. Not only is it going to make her feel safe and comfortable to have a familiar conversation with this guy who she never had met before until right this very moment, imagine the pressure on her if you do somehow come up with some kind of big talk conversation that is incredibly profound and incredibly Disney Prince-like and just out of the blue non-standard. If you can survive not looking creepy by doing that instead of just making normal small talk like a human being usually would, the double whammy there against you is now she's put on the spot. And when she's put on the spot and doesn't know what to say, she feels less safe. She feels less comfortable. And you know what? That's another epic fail as a man. Guys, job one, make a woman feel safe and comfortable around you. That's what masculinity does to perk up women's femininity. You don't have to complicate this. Introduce yourself, make normal small talk with a woman, and watch the sparks fly from there. And at the very least, and this is an important coda to this whole conversation, don't you dare talk yourself into believing that somehow you have to say something incredibly, hugely profound or nothing at all, because you know what that is? It's an excuse. It's yet another excuse not to deploy when you see a beautiful woman you want to meet and you tell yourself not to do it. Introduce yourself, make the small talk, don't overcomplicate it. Watch the success happen before your very eyes. Want to talk about this or anything else? Scott at mountaintoppodcast.com. Be good out there.
As always, visit mountaintoppodcast.com for more.